Okay, Commissioner of the TRSBA right here, right now. So, gonna haven't done a podcast for a while about the TRSBA. So let's start with a playoff preview, season review. To this point, it's the 18th of February, 2026. Okay, I'll share my screen and let us get us going. Bit of stuff to talk about, no doubt. See if I can make my picture as big as possible. Right, so have a look at the standings. Yeah, the champs 40 and 13, very solid. 22 and 4 at home, excellent. Oars and Butchers in a battle there, really, for that second place in the East. I have it so that there's only one game left in the regular season when this is here, but I think the Boars have got just enough of percentage difference to get the bye. So we'll talk about that. If my calculations are out, they're out, but I've sort of done the calculations and I think both will end up with the same record. The Jaguars are clear fourth here. Not as good as last year, the Jags. A few injuries, we'll talk about that. The Cows, not that far off the Jags, probably a game or two behind. The other team that will make it are the Lions in the playoffs. So, yep, the Predators are in the lottery. The Wolfhounds are in the lottery. I think they kept their picks. Barbarians, just a great season again, and it's looking tough to beat them, but you never know. Penguins and Barbs, want to see them in the conference finals to see how that all pans out with a full strength team pretty much for both, but we'll see how they go. Very good home records, 23 and 3, very realistic in the TRSBA to have that sort of thing going on. The Penguins, the Saints had some injuries. We'll talk about them. The double doubles, 28 and 25, a good, not a bad year actually, but not that deep, but some good veterans. Hurricanes, good to see them improve. We thought they might. They've sort of overtaken the Snipers. Tigers and the Flyers are the teams tanking. So it looks like the Flyers, if they've kept their pick, they'll get 4 out of 10. Tigers will get 3 out of 10. It's good to see that Tigers will get a lottery pick, even though they sort of tanked. The Wolfhounds, they'll get a lottery pick as well. They tanked, so they should get a top four pick, as will the Predators. So that's going to be very interesting. Yeah. Let's have a look at some of the players. Nikola Jokic, by far, fairly decent. Luca was second on a per game basis. Difference over 3 FP between the two. SGA third. Yep. Um, 33.3 minutes. Good points. Luca's probably leading the NBA in scoring, looking at that. Giannis at 4. Jalen Johnson, that's a big surprise at 3, but he's had a massive year, especially with the assists numbers as well. Maxi's low turnovers compared to the other guys. SGA's got low turnovers as well, 2.1. So Maxi being number 6 is pretty impressive. Cade expected. Victor expected, but the minutes have been down and they're saving him for the playoffs, hopefully. Jalen Brown, massive year. We're 40 right. It's just a big year for that guy. Huge. Kawhi, very surprising to have this sort of year. He's been fantastic. Donovan Mitchell, we expect him to be pretty good, but not this good. Anthony Edwards, about where you think he would be, probably about that sort of mark, about 11, 12 in the league. Joel Embiid, definitely a little bit of a surprise that he's getting back up there, especially if you look at the more recent stats. Jamal Murray's been really good. I'm surprised, but there's some time where Jokic was out as well. Denny, just really, really good. We knew he was going to have a big year. Harden's been really good. Laurie Markkinen, probably not playing the volume. Şengün has been good. Brunson, definitely. AD, we'll talk about him. Austin Reeves, not a lot of games out, so that's not quite there. Steph has still been great. MPJ, didn't think he'd be in the top 25, but there he is, right next to KD. Very interesting. Let's talk from the worst team, the Toronto Flyers. They were pretty bad this year. I think it was only 8 wins, not very good. And their best player is Con Knipple, which is one of the rookies. So he's a bright light. They also had Dylan Harper. He was picked number 2, so we expect him to continue to break out. Kyle Kuzma, pretty not a what you want to expect. Their best player is LaMelo Ball. Has played okay. He's had 45 games, which is more than most. It's actually quite good. Nemhard's been very good as expected. Trey Johnson as a rookie. Um, Colin Sexton. Yeah, there's not much going on. There's not much depth. He's only played 11 games. Taylor Hendricks, pretty disappointed that he hasn't sort of broken through yet. Lively, 7 games. Sohan, been waived. Not good. No one thought he'd be this bad. Walter Clayton, Daniel Gafford. Onto the Tigers. This is a team that was tanking. Um, Kessler only played 5 games. Sabonis has only played 19. So those guys, Halliburton has also been out for the season. Lots of injuries. Barnes has played everything there. He's 54 games. Kelly Aware, good second year, 22 FP. Derek Queen has even been better than that, 23. He's been good. Asar, hopefully he gets better than this. I mean, 20, you think he in season 3 he'd be better than this. Scoot just came back from injury. Ron Holland, still a long ways to go. Jarris Walker will get some opportunities, but this season's over. They've got Casey Wallace now. They traded away Ricochet to get that. They've also got Ja Morant, so there you go. 14th place Washington Wolfhounds. Yeah, Laurie Markkinen, what a pretty good year, but 41 games means he's probably missed 15. Kamara's been good, okay. Giddy's been he had a bit of an off patch there in the middle, coming back from injury. Certainly solid. Anthony Black has been the talk of the town. He's been good. But look at the rest of the roster. Jimmy Butler injured for the season. Um, but there's just nothing else to write home about. Just a lot of disappointing players there. Yeah, that's just poor. That just hasn't gone well for the Wolfhounds. I do think unless they get something good, they're going to stay pretty low for a while. You know, the Predators, Embiid's back sort of thing, but Ben Carroll's good. Bazelis, the young fella, VJ Edgecombe, good pick. Ao Desumu, I don't know why he's starting, but there's probably not much else. Nurk has had a good season, but if you look anything below Conley, Batum, this is just all bullshit down here. There's just nothing. Lillard, just shit. You know. Embiid's been useful though. Does have some trade value, believe it or not. He'll keep a low schedule going forward. Let's go to the best teams now. So the Death Valley Barbarians, Mad Max ended up a lot better than the French point guard. Now, on that, so I was revisiting the 2020 draft the other day, and I got into a bit of a discussion with old Paul Ramondetta, or whatever his name was, and I basically said that my prediction was that French point guard would end up being better than Tyrese Maxey. What a fucking terrible prediction that was. He was even going to put $500 on that. So that was quite interesting, very interesting. And the commission, you can see why the commission hasn't won a championship for a long time when he's got those sort of predictions. Victor Wembanyama, 40 games, very, very good. But, even Maxi's had a better year, which is interesting. Just the recent run of Wemby's been really good. Pascal Siakam has been very solid. The Jalen Williams injuries hurt a bit, but they're still the best team in the comp. So has the Wagner injury hurt a bit, but they're still there. Rollins has been the big surprise, 26 fantasy points. J. Rue Holiday has been acquired. They had DiVincenzo. They had a really good player in Hartenstein. They had to get rid of 2 solid players to get Holiday. So he might perform. We'll see. He's been doing well lately. Jabari Smith Jr., I think, has had a good year, especially lately. He's around that 25 FP mark. Until he got injured for the season, Peyton Watson was doing really, really well. Ty Jerome has only played 6 games, but looking really, really good. They've got John Collins somehow. I'm not sure how, but 20 FP player just to bring in its 12th man. It's crazy. Jeremy Grant. Yeah, I don't think he's going to play well that role the rest of the season. Tyson has been good. They're really deep. This is the deepest Barbarian team that I've ever seen. So it makes it hard to beat them when they're this deep. This is just depth, 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 and quality depth. Get down to your 14th man and you've got everything above 20 FP. That's crazy. And then you've got someone like Bryce Sensabaugh and GG Jackson, both with opportunities to score, but they won't be needed. Depends. Now, nothing above the 40 FP range. However, Doesn't mean they can't beat the Barbarians. It just means it's going to be very hard. Um, Sengu needs to play a bit better than this in order for them to win. Towns needs to play better. Booker needs to definitely play better. Those three need to play that much better. Cade is close to where he can play. Brunson is just solid. So the starting five is really, really good. But then there's a drop off now. So Yeka Kongu's had a good year. That's expected, as has Bain. They're about the same. Kobe White, don't know what's going to happen with him, but he could be reduced, and that's a weak spot in the roster now. Colin Gillespie, possibly a weak spot. Cater, Melton, Monk, Jones. So it's going to be tough to beat them. It's going to be tough. But it's got to get the right injuries at the right time, you know? The champs, the nerds, all the vets. Vooch, below 30 FP, Dan, believe it. LeBron above, which is big for LeBron. Leonard has been the huge, though. 34. Josh Hart, 30 starting. Interesting. Even there's no one better than him to start. Interesting. Harden definitely starting. Um, I'd probably tend to want to start someone like even a Peyton Pritchard's recent form or a OG Ananobi. I'd probably start Pritchard actually because if you look at his stats at the moment, he's the one that should be starting over Josh Hart. He's better. Russell Westbrook is in the tank mode. He's done. DeMar's done. PJ Washington, not someone you want to put into the starting lineup. Allen's been good. I can't see why he'd be in the rotation. So they are deepish. Paul George it hasn't been too bad. He should be a bit further up the rotation in case he starts to go off, but he's only played 27 games. Cornette Williams right at the bottom of the roster for the champs. Wild Boars, we think that they've got a playoff bye, so we'll see how it plays out. But let's have a look. Zubac down a little bit from last year. Randall about where he usually is. Big surprise is Reeves, but he's played 28 games. Ant has done exactly what you expect, as has Derek Watt. He's done what you expect. They somehow held this position despite all this shenanigans. They've got Tatum out. He might come back though, so we need to find it. We need to just see what's going on there. If I was Hef, at least put him in the lineup just in case they decide to play him during the playoffs. He'll get stats if he does play. The bench is a worry here. Najee Marshall on a good run lately. Naz Reid, Tobias Harris. Hopefully he does well. He just hasn't shown it all season. Zach Levine is out for the season, so that's bad. Yeah, it's pretty thin. If they do play the Butchers, I'd expect the Butchers to beat them in the series, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let the playoffs begin here. We've got the big matchup, the Jaguars against the Cows. Let's have a look at these guys. Duran has done okay. I'd hope he'd be a bit better than that, but he's 29.6. Porter, very surprising, 34.2. Amena, but just above 30 on a run lately, which is a bit on the last 10 games are a bit down. RJ Barrett, just consistent all season when he has played, but he's been out a bit. 26. Castle, only his second season in the league, and he's on a 27 FP run. Porzingis, yeah, I'd have to see we'll have to see status on him. He's going to be key, perhaps. Dante DiVincenzo, just pencil in those stats. Hartenstein's missed a lot of games. Can't miss them in this playoffs. Simons is on a bit of a run. Hopefully can be okay. Jalen Smith needs to be healthy in this series. Devin Vassell is on a bad run the last 20 games. Needs to get a bit better. Guy Santos is the key guy. Nick Clifford can't be on the team really. Jordan Port's just disappointing that he's been taken off. He's not playing, you know. Ricochet, disappointing at the moment. We'll park him for now. Hopefully he gets better in year 3. Number 1 pick. We noticed that, Jaren Jackson's out for the year, so that's really disappointing. Able to start Chet along with Allen, so it's a big, big front court. Chet is doing Chet stuff. Aldama starting is a bit of a weakness. Jaylen Brown is definitely not a weakness. He's a gun. Emmanuel Quickly is probably doing whatever Stephen Castle will do, so that's a good matchup. But then it gets a bit cold off the bench. The bench is very. I think the Jags will have an advantage in the bench. If you look at Porzingis, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, Simons, look at our guys versus Sharp, Thomas, Larson, Eason. Yeah, those guys aren't sort of quite there. So going to be a close series. Anything can happen though. Anything. The Butchers Lions series is going to be a bit more interesting. I think the Butchers should get through quite easily. Brandon Miller, great. Saar, these guys will probably be okay. Sharp hasn't been playing as much lately. Hero, not many games at all. Brooks. So the Lions are going to find it tough against this team with Abdia playing this well. Trey Murphy, wow, it's huge. De'Aaron Fox has been good enough, as has Cooper Flagg. I don't know why Cooper's not starting. I would have him starting over Macau Bridges somehow, maybe making him a guard forward or something. He's probably got that designation if you want it. I mean, Huckers Hunya, Nick Claxton. There's some really good bench players here, and they haven't been playing a lot. Some of them like Keegan Murray, Mark Williams. Yeah, fair enough. He's hasn't been as good as what he should be. Nowhere near the Duran standard. Um, yeah, just some young players coming through the ranks. I can't see the Butchers not winning. I think there's enough. They're doing enough there. They've got enough good players to win that series. If we have a look at Zion and Utah as they battle Powell and the Snipers. Um, Evan Mobley, hopefully back from injury. Zion, 40 games has been, that's good. Jalen Johnson at 50, even better. Shea, about 50. These guys have missed games. Keontae, we hope he can play, but we can't count on it. Miles Bridges is in a bit of a slump, 23.4 over the last 20. So it's not hasn't been a great pickup. Trey Young, 10 games all season. This is just what Dennis doesn't want. Benedict Maverin needs a bit more from him. He's moved to the Clippers now. Langdale. But yeah, this team's struggling after that. Don't be surprised if there is an upset in this series, but you just it's going to be hard for the Snipers to win if they haven't got Giannis. Um, Brandon Ingram's been okay. Norman Powell's been good. Porter's sort of been good lately. Irving out for the season. Garland's hopefully back. It's yeah. I suppose the Saints will hold on, but it's not looking good after this series for the Saints. That is for sure. If they might hold on in this series, but I can't see it. Reed Shepherd's been a lot better lately too. He should probably be ahead of guys like Jacques Landale. Um, KD versus Spider, the double doubles up against the New Orleans Hurricanes. The Hurricanes should win with the AD injury. They've got Jokic, they've got Bam, they've got Donovan Mitchell, they've got Murray. Those guys are all four of them. The key four players are all healthy, I believe. And then from there, it's not much else. It's those four that you're relying on. That's the four they've relied on since that trade. There's just nothing else. Keldon Johnson is Keldon Johnson. Naismith is Naismith. You know, Oubre's not that great. There's just not much there to talk about. Brown should not be starting. I'm not sure why he starts, but they need to find something just to fill up. It can't be that hard to find that fifth player, but it is. The other team, you know, KD's great. Luka's really good. Missed some games. Nor's been great. DeAndre Ayton, yeah, we wish he could start. Probably needs to. CJ McCollum is a good bench player. Keyshawn George. They've got some three good players that they can rely on the bench. Coward is, I think he's out for the season, is he? I'd have to check. He's out for something. Hunter, Pirtle, Pirtle's missed games. Hunter's not reliable. So we move on. And that is it. I think that's all we've got time for in this wrap up. Yeah, excellent work. You can see what the red nose, jiu-jitsu injury there. The commissioner of the TRSBA is back. Best of luck in the playoffs all.